right, so I have my processes documented. Now what? First, we need to make sure we distribute those to the team. If the team doesn't see the process, you don't actually have a process, you just have a useless software document somewhere in Lucidchart. Make sure the team understands what the process is and knows what you expect from them. Second, after we've distributed these to the team, we can identify KPIs within our process maps. As you know, there are 4 types of KPIs. We have the key purpose indicator, the key profit indicator, key performance indicator, and key process indicator. We can identify 2 of those, and those should come directly from your process maps. If you take the generalized sheet of suggested KPIs or suggested metrics from somebody else, those can be great and have good suggestions. If you want them to be tailor-made to your business, they need to come from your process maps. So we'll find both key process indicators and key performance indicators directly from those processes. Where are we going to find those? Well, first, the key performance indicators are going to come from the ending terminators of your core processes. So wherever that process ends, that should be a key performance indicator. Our key process indicators, we're going to look inside the diamonds within those processes. As we mentioned, everywhere that we have a diamond, that means we probably have a chance for inefficiency. All right, so if we want to know exactly how everything's going and dial it in on a more detailed level, then we're going to look at the key process indicators. Key performance indicators tell us if we won or if we lost the game. Key process indicators tell us what the stats are while we're still in the game. They allow us to make those decisions to know if we need to make a substitution or if we need to change strategy entirely. What a lot of people do is they review, hopefully at least quarterly, and they'll review the numbers and say, hey, you know what? Our numbers look a little bit low. I wonder where our problem is. Maybe we should hire a new sales guy. When you have your key process and performance indicators dialed in, you not only know exactly, which process the problem is, but we can go even further and know where in the process we have an issue. Instead of saying it feels like we have a problem with sales, you can say, I know exactly, right? Our leads coming in are the exact same, but we're not getting the same output. Okay, let's look at the key process indicators, right? We're having the same amount of calls being made, but for our direct mail leads, we're having a much lower percentage. We have a problem with direct mail, right? And the quality of leads we get there. So we can dial everything in, make our problem solving much quicker, right? For us to actually solve the problem, but we can also move the timeline up to when we find out about those issues. Key performance indicators should be tracked on a weekly basis and reviewed to make sure the right target at least monthly. Key process indicators should be tracked on a daily basis and reviewed at least weekly to make sure that everything is going the way it should be. We'll reference that again in a second here. But after we've distributed our processes to the team and identified and started tracking those KPIs, next we need to document the procedures. Procedures is the how behind the process. If process is what you do, procedure is how to do it. So we need to make sure we put out training and teach our team exactly how we want them to complete these processes and make sure they have access to the training that they need. Most people want to be good employees. There's very few people who say, I hope I do a horrible job today. Right? That's very rare, probably not going to happen. So we need to make sure we give them the training and the expectations to help them succeed in their position. After we've distributed the processes widely to the team, identified and tracked KPIs, and given them the training to make sure they can hit those KPIs, now we need to do some regular maintenance. We're going to schedule Systems 60 meetings. We're going to use these meetings to make sure our processes stay fine-tuned and refined. We want to go through a regular basis, put them in order and just hit one per week, right? You don't have to go in anything crazy. You don't have to review every map every week. But if you go one per week in a systemized way, that'll make sure everything stays up to date. Pull the team in, get their input, right? If they do it every day, they might find a more efficient way to do it. That should be a bonus that we want to share with the entire rest of the team. So we can share that and help everyone do better. Also in those System 60 meetings, this is when we notice the KPIs have a problem, that's when we're going to highlight whatever process is having the issue. We're going to bring that to the front of the line in that System 60 meeting, and we're going to make sure we figure out the problem. This is also when we decide to bring the innovator back into the business. If there are no problems, the innovator is not necessary for these meetings. They're good at fixing problems, Some are so good at fixing problems that they make problems where none exist. So if there is not a problem that's been identified, if everything is going the way it should be, we don't need the innovator. But when there is a problem, that's when we absolutely need the innovator to step back in and innovate the process and fix it so that we're back on track.